Compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law, I wish to state that on November 4th, the notice of this meeting of the Upper Township Committee was posted on the official Township Bulletin Board, mailed to the Cape May County Gazette, the Atlantic City Press, the Ocean City Sentinel, Ledger, the Herald Times, and filed with the Township Clerk. Tonight's meeting is being video recorded up until the closed session portion of this meeting and will be available on UTTV 20, Channel 97, and on the Upper Township website. Be hereby direct that this announcement made a part of the minutes of this meeting. I would ask all to rise for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Barbara, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mr. Coggins?
Here.
Mr. Young?
Here.
Mayor Palumbo?
Here.
Four members are present.
Okay. Would someone like to approve the minutes from October 24th, both the regular and closed session minutes?
Motion to approve? Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
I'll abstain.
Abstain.
I was not here.
Motion is carried with 3 in favor.
Okay. Barbara, do you have anything for us this evening?
We just have a couple of announcements. Just would like to announce that, well, obviously everyone knows that tomorrow is Election Day, and the clerk's office will be open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. If anyone has any questions or would like to know which district they vote in, we'll be open for questions for that. And then also I wanted to announce that we will be closed on Friday, November 11th, to observe Veterans Day. And I'd just like to thank all of our veterans for their service. And that's
Okay.
all I have to say, sir. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Daniel?
Just a couple items. One is to inform the Township Committee that there was an Oprah complaint with the Government Records Council. It was Mr. Shearer versus Upper Township. That has been withdrawn. I guess it was last July it was filed, and Barbara and I filed the response on behalf of the Township. It dealt with copies of insurance and GIF claims. It was sent on to many municipalities. We were one of them. We provided the information. However, we redacted personal information such as patients' names and addresses. But still, the complaint was filed because of the redactions primarily. And that's been withdrawn, just to let the Township Committee know that it's been withdrawn. And obviously, that's a resolution in our favor. And then secondly, we had a land donation request in Nicholson. You had preliminary approved that we move forward on it. It deals with Lot 6, Block 331. We've received the title search on that, and it is clear. We'd like to proceed with that. Paul has indicated to me that he's inspected it, and there are no physical condition or environmental concerns that the township should be aware of. Correct, Paul?
That's correct.
So at this point, the only thing I need from the Township Committee, we're going to put it on an agenda item for formal action. But what I would like to have is some feeling from the Township Committee as to title insurance. Since it is clear, I can get title insurance for an additional cost of about $200, so that we'll have about $38,000 worth of insurance. That's the minimum amount. So we usually do get it for the extra $200, even though it's a cost of a donation, but it's there for forever. So if there's ever a question, we can tell you in the future.
Oh, I think based on your recommendation, and, obviously title insurance is an important part of having ownership, so I'll make a motion that we approve that.
Second.
And then the last thing is we do have a couple matters for closed session, potential litigation and safety and security. There was on the agenda personnel matter, but there's nothing that is not going to be before the committee. We won't be discussing personnel.
Okay, do you need us to vote on that motion for the
Oh,
approval?
sorry. I'm rushing.
You went right into closed session stuff, so I know, but I'm on top of things. You want to call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
That would be a good
Mayor
idea.
Plummer?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
They're just back from vacation,
Sorry about
that's it.
that. I have nothing further.
Okay. Paul?
Thank you, Steve. I put, Ed Bartlett put on the SkyDrive for you to looking at. There's a program through the New Jersey Department of Transportation, a local bicycle and pedestrian planning assistance program, grant program. And that's a program where they can, the DOT will come and provide some planning assistance, not for construction funds, but planning assistance in helping to design local bike and pedestrian activities. And considering what we're looking at doing up at Beasley's Point, and then maybe possibly tying it into Route 9, extending it south towards Roosevelt Boulevard, I felt that it would be appropriate to possibly reach out, to that grant funding. That is, Summers Point is utilizing some of that funds to kind of do some of their planning on the Summers Point side. So just trying to get as many different revenue streams before I'm tapping the municipal coffers. So I just would ask that for the next meeting, we put a resolution of support to request that planning grant from the DOT. And I'll have, I'll finalize some of have that for the meeting, some of the background information that's required. But I just wanted to touch base with the committee to move forward with that.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yep. Yeah, I would say go forward with that. Put a resolution for the next meeting.
The next thing I just wanted to talk about, loose leaf collection is upon us.
Loose leaf or loose leaves?
Loose leaves.
Say that 3 times.
Collection. Coming up, we usually start it, about next week, in discussing with some of the different Public Works staff in order to try to provide a better public information to allow the residents to know when they're coming, kind of going to be in a neighborhood near you and doing some collection. Typically, we kind of start with different areas and kind of have crews work towards each other. But I think that if we kind of put all the crews in one area, like in each trash collection route, and kind of, we'd be able to finish up that route in about 3 to 4 days, then kind of move to the township, throughout the township, and be able to give a reasonable expectation of, hey, we're going to be in your neighborhood on this date. Before the start of the meeting, I put before you a kind of an anticipated schedule for that. We can kind of put out there before we go out to changes. Wanted to let the committee know about that. And you guys were all okay with that. I was going to start notifying residents and the public about how we might be doing these loose leaf collection this year.
And this is going to be posted on our
We'll be posted on the website, Facebook, TV. Might reach out and whether we do code red with the email notification, and kind of put a blast out to residents to let them know what's going on.
As far as you're concerned, this is a more efficient way
I
of
think
doing
it
our
would be a more
meeting.
efficient way, especially in being able to let residents know when we're going to be in their neighborhood.
Good.
So how difficult would it be to even drill down a little bit more? We have estimated dates, and this is running from Church Road down to the end of Beasley's Point, or north, for, let's use the first one as an example. Would it be difficult to do a daily update of what was completed and where they anticipate it next? Because I understand it's all in timing. The leaves are just beginning to fall. So the people in Beasley Point basically are going to miss the first one or be close to it. You know what I'm saying? And there may be people that might be willing to go out and do leaves right away if they have some idea when it might be. So if we could somehow, put these posted dates, but drill down and say, on November 14th we completed up to, whatever street it is, south of Roosevelt, and then, we anticipate being, we're starting here, and and then we just daily update it, say, okay, tomorrow we're going to be starting on such and such a street. I'm not trying to create more work, but I do think it'll be easier for the people to know when the exact time is, because when you give a week time, it's like, okay, I got a week, they may not be down in my area till a certain time, and then they don't get picked up, and then it's another month till they pick it up. And I understand we only have a certain amount of equipment to do things, But if we could somehow drill down a little bit and do a daily thing, I think that would be a big help to the residents.
We actually already do that with our brush collection and compost collection. We every couple of days, we put an update on, where the crew is at, so it's would not be a problem to kind of, at the end of the day, we'll put information, we put it on our website, on the calendar, and plug it up there, and so people can check out the website and see, hey, where the crew is going to be starting for the next day.
Okay,
So that's not a problem.
that'd be great.
Is it possible to get it put in the newspapers, Colin? This schedule?
I mean, Chris, you could
Sure,
see-
exactly. Okay.
Other than that, that's all.
Okay.
That's all I have to.
Barbara.
I have nothing to see.
Okay. Mr. Coggins.
Nothing from this corner either, sir.
Mr. Young.
Nothing from here either.
Well, good luck to the two of you tomorrow. It'll be a tough race when you have no one running against you, but good luck tomorrow anyway.
Thank you.
And the same, good
Edward.
luck to the bar with Toby and John over here, with the race for the bar. I guess in the newspaper you've read about the burglaries that we had in Strathmere, and want to thank the state police for their quick response in the investigation and apprehension of those that are involved in the burglaries. And most importantly, the help of the citizens that also live in the area. They saw a suspicious vehicle, relayed that information to the state police, they investigated, and it played a key part in the apprehension of the people. So everybody in the community, that's what the police they ask for. They ask for assistance, and that was a textbook example of a nice arrest made with the help of the citizens. Other than that, as you just heard from Paul, we're going to have the leaf collection, and I urge all the motorists out there, keep your eyes open for people out there picking up the leaves, and especially during the rainy season, with the leaves out there, the roadway gets a little bit slick, so use caution while driving. Other than that, that's all I have to report, sir.
Okay. I just have a couple things. One, to remind the residents that Osprey Point will hold a Veterans Day service at 10 a.m. on Friday, November 11th, at the Godfrey Memorial Park in Seaville. It's open to the public, so if anyone would like to partake in that, you certainly have that opportunity locally at 10 a.m. on Friday. Also, I'm very pleased to report that our health fair was very successful that we had recently, and 74 flu shots were given out during that good wellness program that we had at the community center. It has been my hope that, and we've been working with the county to bring up the free flu shot clinics up to Upper Township. In the past, it's only taken place, in the Cape May Courthouse area and Lower Township and some other areas. The county has worked closely with us, and making it more available locally, I think, is an asset. I had my flu shot earlier, but I would suggest anyone of a certain age, whether you're above 50 or younger, it's really important that you get your flu shot. So something to consider. Also, we're going to have our annual tree lighting ceremony. It'll be earlier this year because of the way Thanksgiving plays in, and we're shuffling around our meeting dates in December because of the Christmas holidays. So the tree lighting will be November 21st, a little bit earlier than we've had it in the past, but it's mainly because of the Thanksgiving Day holiday. And finally, for those of you in the audience, and I guess our viewing audience, we are missing our former colleague, Committeeman Pearson, who has taken on the position of freeholder. I want the public to know that the county committee people that represent the districts in Cape May County, in Upper Township, are voted on by the public, held a meeting tonight, and so that outcome will be given to the Township Committee, and the Township Committee at the November 21st meeting will make a determination as to who will be appointed to the Township Committee. By state statute, the County Committee is responsible to providing 3 names to the Township Committee. Only 3 individuals submitted their names, a letter of intent to run for the Township Committee. So we will be making that decision on November 21st. I know a lot of people are asking when that appointment will take place, so it'll be at the next meeting. So that's all I have. So I'd say let's move on to the rest of the agenda.
Item number 1, in recognition of John DeSalvo for his generous contribution of time and materials toward the sealing of the parking lot at Colwell Park.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 2, rejecting the bid received for the furnishing and delivery of the 2016 or newer dump truck.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 3, authorizing the payment from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund of Upper Township.
A little background on this, Paul.
This actually is a refund of a development fee from the affordable housing. Someone had made application through the construction office for an improvement to their home. They overpaid slightly, so we paid for money.
To refund it. All right. Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 4, adopting the November 8, 2016 election emergency relocation plan.
Move the resolution.
Second.
And this is, and we have our OEM director here, but it's my understanding that this would be in the event that, for whatever reason, one of the buildings where we normally house our election, built different sections where we have them, the polling places, I guess is what I'm looking for, we would be able to move it in the 2 places that would be the emergency election relocations will be here at the Township Hall or also at the Community Center. This is something that we're required to do. I don't anticipate any problems tomorrow because the weather's gonna be nice and, you know, who knows, but, we actually ran into a close scenario of this, 3 years ago when we had Hurricane Sandy, because there were a number of polling places that were damaged and a lot of, relocation took place, maybe not so much in our area, but certainly in the mid part of the state and North Jersey. So, you know, we're prepared in the event that something like this would happen, and it's always good to be prepared and hope that it never needs to be implemented, so. Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 5, budget transfers.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 6, authorizing the Township of Upper to apply for the fiscal year 2016 Emergency Management Performance Grant through the State of New Jersey Division of State Police, Office of Emergency Management, Agency Assistance Program.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Colombo?
Yes, and I want to thank Mr. Morgan Scott for his work on this. And we're anticipating getting a decent amount of funding through the grant, and actually significantly more than we got last year, so.
Item number 7, under ordinances, public hearing and final adoption of ordinance number 13, an ordinance vacating a portion of Otis Avenue within the Township of Upper, County of Cape May, in the state of New Jersey. This is a public hearing.
Okay, before I open it up to the public, is there anyone on the Township Committee or anyone at the tables that have any further comments?
No.
Nothing.
Okay. Would anyone from the audience like to address the Township Committee with respect to the ordinance that vacates a portion of Otis Avenue? Seeing that there's no one from the public that wants to address the Township Committee on this public hearing, I'll close the public hearing portion and entertain a motion for adoption.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 8, public hearing and final adoption of ordinance number 14, 2016, and ordinance amending revised general ordinance, chapter 24, solid waste and recyclables of the Code of Upper Township.
Okay, again, is there anyone that would like to address Township Committee on the committee, or, I know, Paul, that this is the ordinance that addresses commercial properties for recyclables, and we have moved forward hoping in many ways to make it safer for our drivers that are picking up the recyclables, so.
And next meeting, we'll have a resolution, because part of the ordinance, allows or sets, says that the committee will set by resolution the cost of those containers. So at the next meeting, we have our price quotes of the containers, so we'll be, looking to put in a purchase of containers from the recycling trust fund, as well as setting the price for the commercial properties to purchase the containers, or they can have the option to buy an, approved ANSI-approved container.
Okay. So I'll now open it up to the public, and would anyone like to address the Township Committee on amending the revised general ordinance for solid waste and recyclables? And again, this is something that we had talked about with respect to commercial properties and picking up the recyclables, and it would go to, using small mini dumpsters or something, as well as the opportunity for those that have purchased the cans will continue to use them, right?
Actually, when we did some research, no commercial properties had actually purchased any of the additional carts, so that we don't have to deal
Okay.
with that. So it's just going to be the 3-yard dumpsters
Okay.
for the larger scale commercial properties to utilize.
So would anyone from the public like to address the Township Committee on this particular ordinance? Again, it appears that there's no public comment, so we'll close the public comment and entertain a motion for adoption.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 9, under new business, bid results for the 2016 paving project.
Paul?
Thank you. This was a paving project that was part of the bond that the committee adopted earlier this year. We had 4 bidders. The bids ranged from a little over $1.5 million down up to $1.8 million. Arawak Paving was the lowest bidder. They have done work for us in the past. They're a very large asphalt paving company, and being a low responsible builder, I think all the paperwork was in order. I feel comfortable recommending an award for that. Just to note that it was under the engineer's estimate. For the township, we are doing some school work and some township work. The township paving is for about 16 miles of roadway, for about $1.4 million. We had estimated around 1.6. So for the township work, it's about $200,000 under the budgetary amount that we had appropriated for this project.
And the additional amount is?
There's $154,000 worth that the school, that we're going to be doing at the middle school for their purposes.
And that'll be funded by the school
And they'll
board?
be funded by the school. They'll be sending-
So they just partnered with us to get the same type of bidding, lower bidding, because we're doing a significant.
If they did that on themselves, they would have paid significantly more dollars for that. Whereas if they're bidding with a larger paving project like us, you see the economy of scale, and you also see that in the engineer's estimate, where we estimated that more at a smaller job, prevailing type of project cost. So when you do a larger chunk like this, you do see some significant savings.
Okay.
And I just let the public know, the affected streets, I will be sending out notices to all the residents later this week. I'll be sending out notices to all those residents, so they'll know that they are in the paving project and what work will be entailed in front of their properties.
When will the project start?
I've talked to the contractor. It depends on weather. We are late in the season. Once they get all the the contract administrative insurance and performance bonds submitted, if they have some good weather, you know, in December or something like that, they may come in and do a street or two, depending on what their schedule looks like, if they need it, you know, to do some work. But the bulk of the work will probably be done in the spring.
Okay, so would someone like to make a motion to accept the bid results?
Motion to accept the bid?
To put a resolution on for the lowest bidder for the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Do we need to make a motion for you to do that, or are you just gonna go ahead and
We usually do,
Let's-
just to direct the resolution prepared for the lowest bidder.
Okay, so Ed made it first, someone make a second?
Second.
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 10, request for the installation of a street light on White Oak Drive in Palermo section of Upper Township.
Paul?
This is, if you remember, this is the developer street. It was scheduled to be on the agenda several meetings ago for a closeout of the job. I did go out and when I did my final inspection, I did notice that the street light had not been installed at that location. So this is a recommendation to have a street light installed with the developer funds for the project on White Oak Drive.
And so that's on that cul-de-sac in the back of that new street?
Yes. And that's typically where you want a street light, you know, just to alert the motoring public, you know, if the street's kind of, you know, that lights up that cul-de-sac so they can know that the street's in.
Okay.
So the only cost to the township will be the, you know, the
Electrical.
ongoing cost of the energy to power the light. Okay.
I think it's like $11.50 a month for the LED lights now.
We have a lot of those lights throughout the township.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Those $11 a month add up.
Yes, they do.
Someone like to make a motion to approve it?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 11, request for the installation of a street light on Argo Drive in the Seville section of Upper Township.
Paul?
I had a request from the resident that lives down towards the end of Argo Drive. There's an existing street pole there with no light, but it's right at the very end before it makes a turn to the cul-de-sac. And, you know, it was appropriate that it should have a light there. So I recommend a light be installed.
Are there lights along that street other than that?
There are, I think, one or two.
Okay. Someone like to make a motion to approve based
Motion
on
to
the
approve.
engineer's recommendation? So we got a first, second? I'll second it. Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
I will have the abstain, please.
Abstain.
Oh, you live on Argo?
Mr.
Yeah.
Mr.
Very
Coggins?
familiar with it.
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried with 3 in favor. Item number 12, Tom and Lori Jones request a no passing zone along Route 50 in the vicinity of 211 Route 50. This is unfinished business.
We had this request, I think, at the last meeting, and the committee wanted to kind of see a map of the general location of where the no passing zones would stop. If you look at the map I prepared, at the top of the picture, milepost 2.8, that's about where if you're heading southbound or northbound, that's where the transition between the no passing starts and stops in either direction. So that would be the appropriate place to I guess, start that, have no passing from there, heading south to milepost 1.9.
What's your feelings with the state on this? Do you think they would consider it?
I've seen these go either way. You know, in the past, they have been reluctant to approve no passing zones. But I think in the more recent future, I think that they have listened to requests from governing bodies where they, you know, ask for no passing zone. Typically, the DOT's process is they want to keep traffic flowing, and allowing for no passing allows for more freer flow of traffic. So that's why, you know, under the statute, it's not warranted to remove it there. But I think in the past several years, they have been more apt to listen to a local government making a request to slow traffic down in their community.
So have you made the Jones aware that if the Township Committee decides to at least approve this and move forward with a resolution, that we have to go through a state process to get approval for this? That we don't really have the jurisdiction over it?
I have not spoken to
No?
them. I mean, we
Okay.
can reach out, I think that'd be appropriate to reach out to them if we adopt a resolution, let them know that, it's not our decision, it is the state's ultimate decision.
And I live on that section, do I have a
It might be
conflict?
better if you have the state.
That's fine, it's just asking.
All right, so I'll make a motion to draft a resolution to request the state to make that a no passing zone. Typically, there's been some accidents there that I'm aware of along that stretch over the past several years. Some of them are, even close to being head-ons and have been pretty serious accidents. So I think an opportunity for safety there makes sense, so.
I'll second it.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Abstain.
Abstain. Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
So would one of you reach out to the Joneses and let them know the process that we'll have the resolution on November 21st? But then it could be somewhat of a delayed period of time before the state has an opportunity to get to it, especially with holidays and everything else, so,
Yes.
okay. All right, would someone like to make a motion to pay the bills?
Mr. Dietrich, one other item.
What?
I hereby move that all claims submitted for payment at this meeting be approved and then incorporated into the full minutes of the meeting.
Second.
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Well, you have something else?
Yes, Mayor, I apologize, I forgot to bring something up in my report. I did have received some very good news at the end of last week.
The flood
Flood
insurance.
insurance, yes. We, have been going through all year, going through the recertification visit with ISO and FEMA with our community rating system, the CRS program, where the township gets a discount for its residents for the different programs the township does on flood insurance. Well, after the certification, and this was a pretty tenuous recertification because we were moving from one manual to another, so you didn't really know how the points were going to come out in the whole program. And I was hoping not to lose class rating, with the change, but when the points got tallied up, we actually lowered our class rating, so from class 6 to class 5, which receives another 5% discount for our property owners that have carry flood insurance, and that they will now receive a 25% discount on their flood insurance premiums beginning next October 1st, 2017. So that is some good news.
That's significant news, and that puts us comparable with some of the other,
That puts us right
bordering.
in line with Ocean City and Seattle City and Avalon and all the other the leading communities in Cape May County and South Jersey.
so that's great work, Paul,
Good
and
deal.
I'm sure Scott, you had something to do with it from an OEM standpoint on how we address things, so, but I appreciate your work in filling out filling out the application process. So that's great news for the residents of Strathmore. It's great news for some of our other areas that are in low-lying areas close to the water, so.
And we also have a meeting, Ms. Morgan and I are going to be going down on Wednesday. FEMA's having a meeting with the county officials, local officials on the effect of the change of the flood insurance rate maps. And New York City, if you remember, I discussed last meeting, they won their appeal, and so they're going to be redoing the whole flood study. So we're going to be getting an update from FEMA on what the next step in the process is going to be.
So that rate reduction is across the board for all of Upper Township, right?
All of our township, every resident that carries flood insurance.
Great, that's great news. All right, anything else?
No,
Okay. Right, so there's several reports from the municipal departments, construction code, clerk's office, tax collector, finance office, MUA report. All of those reports will be available upon request tomorrow at the township clerk's office, but I'll make a motion to accept those reports.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
So at this time, we'll open it up. If anyone from the public would like to address the township committee, now's the time to do it. Please come up to the podium and state your name and your address and the reason why you'd like to address us. Oh, there had to be someone.
Somebody. Ralph Cooper, 6 Gladwin Drive. I just wanted to remind the committee that we're having our community night next week on the 16th. It's the 5th annual community night. It's the Business Association, but there's table opportunities for township departments and so forth to come and show what they're doing. A couple of years ago, we had the recycling group come, and maybe they can come again. Maybe the CERT and OEM could come and meet the public. We have about 50 tables there, mostly business, but we have a lot of nonprofits. And it's from 6 until 8 o'clock at the elementary school, they said next Wednesday night.
Okay.
Hope you all can come by and visit. And
Yeah, I mean, I've had the opportunity to go to several of them in the past years, and it really is a nice evening. There's a lot of things. It's nice to see a lot of the businesses, you know, talk about their wares, and, you know, there's some restaurants there and things like that nature, so.
good, okay. Thank you.
Thank you for that update.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, Curtis Corson from Seaville. In regards to the dumpster ordinance, is there going to be any relief if somebody gets a dumpster and then they decide to build a dumpster for closure around it, or is that going to require a site plan review, or?
So you're saying after the dumpster is purchased?
If a business owner gets a dumpster
Right.
and he wants to put a closure around an unsightly dumpster, is that going to require a site plan review, or? Okay, that's the only question I had. Thank you.
That was quick.
Anyone else? Okay. I guess everybody wants to get home early so they can get up early and do their duty and vote tomorrow for our next president and for our 2 candidates that are up here. So I want to thank the public for those that brought some information to the Township Committee. At this time, I'll turn it over to Mr. Coggins to go into executive session.
I hereby move that a resolution be incorporated into the minutes authorizing the Township Committee to enter into an executive session for the following matters pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. The matters are potential litigation for a tax lien foreclosure judgment and also safety and security. I also include in my motion the estimated time and circumstances under which the discussion conducted in closed session can be disclosed to the public as follows. It is anticipated that the matters discussed in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Committee that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. With respect to contract negotiations, such matters will be made public when negotiations have ceased and there is no longer a reason for confidentiality. With respect to litigation matters, such discussions will be made public when litigation is complete and the applicable appeal period has expired.
Second, would you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Goggins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Thank you all for attending this evening. Please drive safely home and have a great night.